February 20th, 2023. It's a life update. Things that are going on. And a lot has changed. Well, not really for me, but as far as like this format, this presentation, what's been happening. And it's okay. I'm trying to just take it cautiously because I'm not exactly sure of what is wise to discuss and what should now become more private. I'm not sure, because before no one was watching, and it was just me just recording stuff and preserving it and keeping like a private documentary. And I'm referencing some videos from, well, since the beginning, but mostly I'll be talking in reference to some of the things that I might have discussed thinking that no one was ever going to watch from October, in which I was on a road trip back to the area where I grew up, and I was I recorded some videos in a hotel room where I was staying, and I don't know what I discussed in those videos. I know I was upset in quite a few of them because of the situation that's going on there, and feelings of not knowing what to do, or if I should do something, or how to do it, and then just being completely overwhelmed and uncertain of yeah, and just being kind of powerless over all of it. And yeah, so anyway, yesterday I found out that the situation has worsened. I don't know how yet, and I think it's okay to disclose. I think so. Anybody, I think, would have tuned out by now, because this is not entertaining, this is not happy, this is not energetic, this is not informative, this is not educational. This is just a documentary of what's going on for me and how I feel about it, what I think about it. So hopefully I'll wait a little while longer. I'll talk about some boring stuff and try to scare off anybody that I don't know. I'm a little bit paranoid about that kind of stuff, and for whatever reason, but this is all real to me. This is my life, and the people are real. I'm real. The feelings are real, and my inability to know what the future holds and what every decision that I make or don't make, I don't know any of that. I don't have access to the knowledge of the future, and I'm in the present now, and it's like I don't want to make the wrong choice, but not making a choice can be the wrong choice too. And I just don't have enough information at this time. But the facts of the matter are, as well, the little that I do know, and my knowledge of the situation and what it's been like and how it's been going, which I haven't discussed very much, or not often, because it's just not much to talk about. But medical, mom's in the hospital, and she's been there for a couple days now, and I just found out yesterday. My uncle let me know, and it was Sunday yesterday, and I finally worked up the courage to try calling the hospital, because it feels like cold calling. Like, I don't know who I'm going to talk to, or if it's going to be a recording or a machine or a directory, or if, what I have to, because I don't know how to talk. I don't have to deal with calling hospitals very much, or at all. So it's like, what are they going to ask? How do I introduce myself? I made sure to let them know I was her son, and I just wanted to be directed. It's like, what are my options? What's available? And they directed me to the nurses station, and I told them the same thing, and they said they were going to transfer me to the nurse. And then it rang for a while, and then it went to a voicemail box that said that there was no one available. And it was after hours. And it was Sunday, and it was in the afternoon, so... And I don't know this place. I don't remember if I've ever even been there. And so, I mean, I'm not surprised by any of this. Again, reference those October videos in the hotel room. I'm not going to, because I don't watch any of my stuff. It's recorded. It's gone, and I don't really care to look at it. I mean, it's not that I couldn't. It's just I don't want to. It's like I don't need to relive it. I've already lived it once, and I don't want to see it again. I mean, not really. I'll watch some of my shorter stuff, just to be like, how did that sound, sort of thing. But some of the longer videos, and I see, and it's like, I remember enough. I don't need to go through it again. And so, like this video, a week from now, a month from now, a year from now, I'll be like, yeah, I don't want to watch that. No. Because I will, if I'm, hopefully I'll be on the other side by then of whatever is going to happen will have happened. And I'll be able to look back and be like, oh, right, I didn't know that then. And it turned out this way, or it turned out that way. But I don't know that now. And it's still... I went into work this morning because I figured I should just continue about my regular schedule. And I let somebody know there what was going on. And they're kind of in the loop on what's going on as far as that family situation and the state of it and my thoughts on it. I was talking about how they know that I don't have the greatest expectations of a good outcome. It's just it's a real outcome. It's life, and her health has just been deteriorating over these past couple years pretty steadily, even though she insists that her health is good and that her test results come back like really good. But I don't think she's telling the truth. I think she's just inventing stories to have people not worry over her or try to get her out of her living situation because she doesn't want to be put anyplace else. She wants to live there. That's where she feels safe. That's where she knows where things are. She has her comfort. She has her routine. She gets left alone. People run errands for her, do chores, and yeah, but she's mostly alone. Yeah, but people check on her. So, and I'm far removed. And I'm far away. So, anyway, I got home from work just a little bit ago, and there was no one else here in this building, this apartment building. So I knew I wouldn't have to worry about sounds of people, like my neighbor above me tromping around on his floor, my ceiling, and neighbors in the hall making noise, going about, living life, going about their business. But I got home and there's no other cars in the parking lot, so it means that everybody's gone. So I don't have to, I can talk as loud as I want, which is still quiet. But I wouldn't have to worry about, just excess noise, even though there's, I don't know, traffic outside and stuff. But I've got the shade still pulled, so trees need light. I will open the curtains in a while, but they're okay for the moment. And yeah, so I don't know what's happening, and I will try the hospital again a little bit later this morning and try to find out what's going on. But I'm guessing she fell again because she's been having that problem for years and years and years and years and years, and it's nothing new. But all these falls have a toll, a cumulative effect, and she just experiences a lot of vertigo and disorientation, and her, just her reflexes aren't just what reflexes. So, and she doesn't, I don't know, but it's just kind of sad, and it's just been getting worse and worse and worse. And there's nothing really anybody can do as far as I know. Ideas have been tried, and they have met just with resistance and denial, and so I think at some point just other family members just kind of gave up and just like, well, let's leave her be, and until something happens. I guess. Was that the plan? Was that a good plan? I don't know. But here we are. And, I'm glad my uncle, who is closer, he's not that far away. He's kind of, I don't know. I hope he's more like able to take, sort of like the lead of as far as like figuring things out and making decisions, because I'm not really good with that sort of thing. Finding out what options are available and what is the right decision. So it's like I will be leaning on him as far as having a greater knowledge base than I do about these sorts of things. He's had more experience, I assume. But I'll be getting some experience about these types of things and how they are handled. And I do have a brother, my only brother, which I might have mentioned in some recording somewhere. But he's even further away than I am, and even more detached and remote as far as the situation goes. So I haven't talked to him yet either. We've kind of had a communications breakdown, and we're no longer like talking. There's nothing wrong. It's just we've fallen out of communication, and it's difficult for us to connect because it's just so much has changed from how it used to be for me and for him. A lot of what's been happening to me or for me or what I've been doing, it's like even though I survived what I went through, like the brother he knew is no longer here. It's like I'm myself. I am different than how I used to be. And a lot of that was, related to my alcohol abuse and that coping strategy for dealing with life and not understanding my nature and how I am. And, an undiagnosed autistic person living without understanding and just feeling like a failure and directionless. And I thought I heard something. I think it might have been a notification on some device somewhere. But I just ignore that. I will see it when I see it. So, anyway, this is not a happy recording. This is not meant to be. And, you know, a lot of these recordings, I was thinking about talking about this again, you know, just to make it known, and also letting myself know, because I'm usually just talking to myself. I'm not communicating with anyone in particular. I'm just talking to myself and just, you know, telling myself things so I have a record in case I ever choose to want to look. And this was before I had anybody, you know, even looking or that I was aware of. And now I feel like I have some responsibility to be, you know, more open and honest, but also be a little bit more guarded, just in case. But this whole channel was originally designed and intended to communicate and to just introduce myself and have a way to communicate with a person, a very particular person, so they could see what I was like at their leisure, if they chose, at their discretion. And it wouldn't be intimidating or threatening. That was the intent. And it would just be up to them, and I wouldn't even know if they had, you know, what they watched or, you know, anything like that. I would just, you know, because I don't see that. I don't see who. I don't see names. You know, I just see views or non-views, and anyway, it just got to be a thing where I just kept on recording, and without knowing that anything was ever seen or acknowledged, or what they thought of it, if they thought of it, what they thought of it, and that continues. It's been over 2 years of creating videos, and to my knowledge, I have no idea if they're even. I think they became aware of at some point that I was creating videos, and they might have checked out a few of them or something. I'm not sure, but they never let on, if they ever did, or acknowledged, or, you know, and they definitely haven't, you know, said anything. Nothing directly, nothing specifically. A lot of how they have interacted with me has been more generalized and vague. So I've sort of just kind of been working on just letting it be, and then just continuing to do whatever it is I do in the way that I do it. And if they are interested in any way, they know how to find me. They know how to contact me. And I wish them well. And I wish they find what they're looking for. And I thought it could have been me. That was the thing. But, you know, my thinking on a lot of things is skewed and flawed. And I am subject, of course, to my own personal bias and prejudice of my experience of the world up to this point, what I think about things, how I think about things, what I feel about things, and my ability to detect reality and understand it, and to try to attempt to perceive what other people like. I'm not good at signs or signals. I need people to, or at least I prefer, if they want anything close to a reasonable response, I prefer people to be fairly explicit with exactly what their intentions or motivations or what they're thinking, because I'm not good at reading between the lines. At least I don't give myself credit for it. I just spend a lot of time guessing at reality, and then it feels like people get upset with me for not reading reality correctly. It's like I should have gotten it. I should know. They were being very, very clear in their ways of hinting at things, but obviously I just didn't get it. And then it's like, so, and then there's the whole blurred lines between what is just being friendly or just being diplomatic, just being courteous and kind, not wanting to hurt feelings or reject or say, just go away. And because they're just being nice. And that's another thing about my situation, the way I am, is I'm very sensitive to, and I am prone to self-pity. I don't know if that's comes across. I might come across as being very confident and self-motivated, but that's not really the case. I dwell in despair and frustration and powerlessness quite a bit, and I hope that comes across. Because but I do try to take myself less seriously too, and acknowledge that I have as much power to affect my situation as what I tend to believe and work on. Because I can, work on things a lot better than I used to be able to. So there's that. So that feels good, that I am in some measure of ability. I won't use the word control, because control is an illusion, and I don't really believe in it. But I can have an impact and influence over my own course, my own heading and direction. It's just needing to evaluate my situation and make decisions. So anyway, but all this was before something happened in late September and then into early October, and I started making recordings. And I noticed that one of them got a lot of views out of nowhere. And I wasn't expecting that. I accidentally created a short. I didn't mean to. It was less than a minute long, and it got processed as a short and got a lot. And I was like, why are so many people looking at this? And then I figured it out, and I decided to create one on purpose, and it got looked at, and then I got a couple subscribers, and I decided that I liked the attention, and even though I don't like attention, and because I'm just weird about being seen, and a lot of it has to do with forgetting about, like, yeah, I have to forget that I am being recorded. I have to forget or not notice or be aware of it to be able to get an authentic capture. Because if I start to think about it too much, I get self-conscious, and then I just go quiet. And so, like right now, I'm just kind of relaxed and in a very accepting, reserved mood, because I don't know what's going to happen next. One phone call and stuff's going to change, depending on what the person on the other end says. And that's scary. That's real scary. And I don't like it, but that's life too. It's like I am kind of at a loss and at the mercy of things that are beyond my ability to have a say about. And but I am involved, and it is family, and I don't have much family. So, I mean, they're there, but I don't have much contact, and they've all got their families that they've created, and their whole histories and things. So I'm just kind of mostly just in contact with very few people. Enough, though, for support. So I do have people to talk to, and yeah. And then I've got my local support group around these parts, and then there's a few other people, you know, but not very many. I don't keep a very large social circle, just a few people. And I don't think anybody yet really knows much of the whole story, and only a very few people have I disclosed or volunteered my autistic diagnosis. And I've told the whole story about Asperger's diagnosis, and how that's no longer a term, and there was a mild autism spectrum disorder, and now they're changing that to mild autism spectrum condition soon, because it's not a disorder, it's a condition. There's nothing wrong with me. The way that I am, I've always been. And I don't know how it would be like to be like anybody else or not be autistic. To me, this is normal. Everything about me is normal. And it might be strange to other people, but to me, this is how I am. This is reality. And anyway, we're starting to approach 30 minutes. So hopefully, and it's like I'm not, again, this is just me talking to myself. I'm just letting myself know where I'm at, what I was thinking, how I was thinking. And it's going to have been okay, even though I don't know that yet. It's going to work out the way that it's going to work out. And I don't get a say in that. And I don't have to like it. But I do have to play my part. And be responsible when I need to be. And I also need to be present and available, because other people will be I don't know about counting on me, but will be wanting me to be taking care of some business. And we'll see, because this could turn out to be a false alarm, but it is a warning sign, because this is a very serious false alarm, if it is, because she has medical problems and her living style and situation is unsustainable. So things have to change, and I don't know what that means or what that involves, or even what are the options. And so it's going to involve a lot of things that I don't like to have to deal with, a lot of conversations, and I don't know the answers. So anyway, I kind of don't want to go, but I have to face reality and face the situation, because it's only when I turn away from things, and that's when I get scared, is when I don't deal with things. So dealing with reality is a lot better for me than denying reality. At least I can feel good about that.